If you have ever wondered whether you are budgeting like a total mess or just like a normal person, this video is for you. I am Theo, Emily's husband and Liam's dad. This morning, I opened my banking app and saw my balance drop, and I was like, oh man. Emily immediately gave me that weird look, and honestly, I think the problem is not a lack of willpower. It is a lack of benchmarks to compare yourself to. What surprised me is how even a small expense can quietly leak out over and over, and you do not even notice it. According to Fred data in 2025, average credit card interest rates were around 21%. If you carry just $5,000 in credit card debt, you are basically losing about $87 every month in interest alone. That is the kind of thing that makes you mad, for real. So in this video, I am going to give you 10 numbers so you can do a reality check on your own budget. And at the end, I will wrap it up with 3 steps. Track your spending for 7 days, build a $400 emergency fund, and then set up automatic transfers. Like and subscribe if this helps, and comment what part of budgeting you get stuck on the most. Stat number 1 is income, because if you do not know where you stand, your budget is going to be off no matter what. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2025, the median weekly earnings for full-time workers were about $1,204 a week, which comes out to roughly $62,600 a year before taxes. The way I understand it, median means right in the middle. Half of people make more, and half make less. What surprised me is that a lot of people hear a typical number like that, and then pressure themselves to live like they make more than they actually do. And I have done that too. When Emily and I first got married, I would see friends traveling and think, oh, everyone must be comfortable, everyone must be doing great. Nope. So here is my question for you. If you are below that median number, are you building your budget based on expectations instead of reality? And do you know exactly how much you have left each month after taxes to split between housing, your car, food, and savings? Let me ask you bluntly, if you lost your job next week, would you have enough cash to live for at least 2 weeks? If not, your budget needs to prioritize an emergency fund immediately. Stat number 2 is the average income for a consumer household. In the 2024 Consumer Expenditures Report, average income before taxes was about $104,207 a year. A lot of people hear that and breathe a sigh of relief, like, okay, so everyone is basically making 6 figures. But the way I see it, the word average can get pulled up by a smaller group of really high earners. And honestly, social media is what made me think that average was normal. Oh man, when Liam was just born, I used other people's income as my spending standard. Then I would look back at the end of the month and realize I was chasing a number that was never mine in the first place. So here is the reality check question. Are you building your budget around your household's real income, or around some number that belongs to somebody out there that just looks normal? Stat number 3 is the thing that makes a beginner's budget collapse the fastest: spending. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, average annual expenditures are about $78,535 a year, which works out to around $6,545 a month. When I heard that number, I was like, oh man, because a lot of people only remember rent and groceries, and then all the little stuff is like, whatever, it is fine. But the way I see it, a budget does not break because of one huge expense. It breaks because you do not add up all the small things that keep repeating: subscription fees, food delivery, insurance creeping up, car repairs, gifts, medical stuff. What surprised me is that when I started tracking for real, my total spending was almost $1,000 a month higher than I guessed. Seriously, do not guess. Track it and do the math. So here is my question for you. How much did you spend last month? And did you know that number before you opened your banking app? Here is the twist. If you make around $62,600 a year, basically that median number, and you are spending about $6,545 a month, you are already in the negative before you even get to saving. Seriously, are you stuck in that pattern right now? Stat number 4 is the number one line item in most budgets: housing. Pulled from the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Expenditures Report for 2024, average housing costs are about $26,266 a year, which is around $2,189 a month, and it makes up more than 33% of total spending. From my experience, the second housing creeps up even a little. Everything else gets squeezed immediately. Food, savings, even the money to do fun stuff with Liam. What surprised me is that a lot of people try to optimize the tiny things, like cutting out one coffee, when housing is the real lever. The truth is, I used to not look at housing as a percentage of income. Emily once asked me, "What percent of our paycheck is going to housing?" And I just went completely quiet. So here is your reality check question. How much of your after-tax monthly income is housing taking up? And are you having to use a credit card to cover the gap? Stat number 5 is transportation. By 2024 estimates, average transportation spending is about $13,318 a year, which is roughly $1,110 a month. And from what I have seen, when someone is new to owning and driving a car, they usually only count gas and then forget about insurance, maintenance, tires, registration fees, and those surprise repairs that come out of nowhere. Oh man, one time my car's air conditioning died right in the middle of a hot stretch. I thought it would be like a few dozen bucks to fix, and then the bill hit, and I just froze. What surprised me is that transportation is not just the car. It is the whole cost of getting yourself to work so you can earn money in the first place. So here is your reality check question. How much are you paying each month for your car and getting around? And did you sign up for monthly payments that are basically locking your budget in place? Stat number 6 is food. And this is where beginners lie to themselves the most. In the 2024 Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Expenditures data, average spending on food is about $10,169 a year, which is around $847 a month. The problem is that food gets split into way too many tiny transactions: coffee, snacks, lunch, and then you get home and order takeout. When I ask myself, how much did I spend on food this month? I cannot even answer without opening my banking app. And it is honestly frustrating, because if you add just $10 to $15 a day, by the end of the month, you have burned a few $100s without realizing it. So here is your reality check question. Do you separate groceries from eating out? And last week, how many meals did you eat out? This stat sounds small, but it is a big deal. Stat number 7. Retirement money inside your real-world spending. Average contributions to retirement plans are about $1,991 in 2024, which is only around $166 a month. From what I have seen, a lot of beginners think, I will save for retirement after I have extra money. But honestly, the easiest way is to treat it like a required bill. And when I set up an automatic transfer into my retirement account, my budget actually felt easier to breathe, because I was not negotiating with myself at the end of every month anymore. It sounds backwards, but it is so true. Seriously, Start small if you need to. $50 or $100 is fine, as long as it is consistent. So here is your reality check question. Do you have any future money line in your budget this month? Or is everything only serving your present? Here is a quick comparison. $166 a month for retirement is sometimes less than what a lot of households spend on eating out. Because if you swap just 2 takeout meals for cooking at home, you can basically buy your future. Now let's talk about number 8, your savings rate, so you can see what normal actually looks like. According to Federal Reserve economic data in 2025, the personal saving rate was around 3.5%. When I heard that, I was like, oh man, that means most people are barely setting aside anything after taxes. I am not saying that to discourage you. I am saying it so you see the opportunity. If you consistently save 8% or 10%, you are already way ahead of the crowd. Honestly, even bumping it up by 1 to 2% can totally change how in control you feel with your money. I used to wait for a month that felt easy before saving, and somehow, every month magically did not feel easy. So here is your reality check question. Right now, what percent of your after-tax income are you saving? And could you raise it by 1% this month by cutting which expense? Number 9. And this one goes straight for your emergency fund. In the Federal Reserve's 2024 report on the economic well-being of United States households, about 37% of adults said they would not be able to fully cover a $400 expense using cash or its equivalent. Oh man, $400 does not sound huge, but it is enough to turn a normal week into a disaster if you have to swipe a credit card for it. In my opinion, beginners should prioritize a basic emergency cushion before trying to optimize the fancy stuff. What surprised me is that once our household had a $400 to $1,000 cushion, I slept way better. Emily was less stressed too. Yeah, the first goal is not to be rich. The first goal is to not let one surprise bill blow up your whole budget. So here is your reality check question. If your car broke down this afternoon, or Liam got sick and needed a doctor visit, could you pay for it right away? Now we are at the climax, and it is also the final number, number 10, credit cards. According to Experian, the average credit score in the United States is 715. That sounds fine, but a decent score does not mean you are not in debt. And based on Federal Reserve economic data in 2025, credit card interest rates were sitting around 21%. On top of that, based on New York Fed credit card balance data that a lot of 2025 roundups cite, the typical balance people talk about is around $6,523. Here is where the trap is. You only look at the minimum payment, while the interest quietly pulls money out of your wallet every single day. Let me make it super real. If you have a balance of $6,523 at about 21% a year, then month by month, you are losing about $114 just to keep that debt alive. Oh man, $114 a month is about $1,370 a year, and that is painful to hear. And what I see all the time is people trying to invest for 7 to 10% while they are paying 21% to the bank. So please, if you have credit card debt, your budget needs a line item that attacks it first. Then, we can talk about building wealth. Reality check question. How much interest are you paying every month that you have never actually calculated? Let me be honest. When Liam was little, there were a few months where I paid only the minimum on my credit card because I told myself, I will catch up next month. And that was the classic mistake. Then I finally opened the statement, and, oh man, seeing all that interest stacked up made me furious. Emily said, Are you paying money just to stay in debt? That line hurt. After that, I made a rule for myself. If I am going to use a credit card, I need a plan to pay it off in full. If I do not have that plan, then I do not use it. Now let me wrap this up so you can see it is simpler than you think. You do not need to be perfect. You just need a budgeting system built on real numbers. Here is the 3-step plan I want you to start right now. Step 1. For the next 7 days, track every single transaction. Split it into at least 3 big buckets: housing, transportation, and food. Do not judge it. Just write it down. Step 2. Build a $400 emergency fund first, then slowly raise it to $1,000. You will be surprised how just hitting that level means you swipe your credit card less in those random, annoying situations. Step 3. Automate it. Set up an automatic transfer for a small amount into savings and retirement on payday, even if it is only $50 or $100. It is small, but it makes your budget grow over time. Please do not wait until you have extra money to start saving, because most of the time, it never feels like there is extra. Do these 3 steps for 30 days, and you will feel way more in control of your money. If this video helped you see your budget more clearly, hit like and subscribe so I can keep making this beginner series. And drop a 1-letter comment. H, if housing is where you are stuck. F, if food is where you are stuck. D, if credit card debt is where you are stuck.